but not least, please welcome to Professor Ranjith PV from MS Malaya Institute of Management, Bengaluru. Dr. Ranjith holds a PhD in Commerce and Management with NET and an MBA in the area of marketing and operation. His area of teaching includes supply chain management, operation research, operation management, business statistics, and operation management, and marketing analytics. He has spent more than 2 decades in teaching at Chennai, Mumbai, and Bengaluru. These are the cities of India. Also, he is closely associated with X Culture, which are the organizations dealing in international projects. He has been keynote speaker in international conferences. At present, he is working as a professor in operations and supply chain management areas at MS Ramaiah Institute of Management, Bengaluru, India. Dr. Ranjith, the time is yours.
Thank you, sir, for the introduction. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Thank you. Let me just share the. Just give me a minute, I think. Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Thank you, AIBPM. It has been a pleasure working with AIBPM and Dr. Liam for such a long time. Again, back to the conference as a keynote speaker. So I was thinking a lot about what I should talk about today, and unfortunately, I did not have any active analytical research to be speaking about. So I thought, why not speak about something which attracts me a lot, which is sports. So I thought, why not look into sports marketing as a area, and look at some of the news clippings and other things which are happening, which will help me to analyze the situation. And based on that, I'm proposing and I'm doing actually a research, a very preliminary research on what attracts people, what are the awareness level of sports events, etc. Interestingly, India is a country which is very famous for loving cricket, and but lately we can see a lot of people who have started looking into tennis, football, and maybe to an extent Olympics also. And that's something which has changed me, maybe because of social media. Though I have not collected too many data, but my data says that it is conventional media also which is helping the information to go through as far as sports is concerned. Anyway, digitization marketing in sports is what I thought of, I'll speak. So what is sports marketing? This is one area which is coming up like anything, because I feel as a person who's residing in a country which is where 60 crore people follow cricket as a sports. This is an area which is focusing on the promotion of sports events and teams and events and different kinds of happenings, and a lot of advertisements now focused on converting a sports fanatic into a product centric person. Though it's still primarily focused on cricket, I think there is a lot of awareness happening in terms of the other sports events also. So that's something which the governments are looking into, something in which popularity of different sports events have to be happening. India is now trying, in fact, Board of Cricket of India as well as International Cricket Council is trying to help cricket to be popularized. We just have the final today of uh, T20, that is 20 over cricket World Cup, and it happened in US and West Indies, and a lot of people watched. But still, if you see, 90% of the people are in US are not aware of what cricket is. So there's a lot of scope for improving the awareness as far as sports is concerned in the world. So social media is a very, very important thing, and you can see that Statista says 70% of Gen Z and millennial fans who are predominantly the audience now prefer to read about sports in social media, which primarily talks about the importance of social media in popularizing the sports. So I think this is the right time for the different kinds of social media, including the YouTube, Insta, Facebook, WhatsApp, everything, to really popularize sports events into such a situation where people take up sports, because that's something which really unites a team. You can see in cricket, people who follow cricket, how cricket united Afghanistan, and how the different people, though they are fighting, united together to watch cricket match. So that's something which is very, very important in the coming scenario, especially in the era of diverse culture. There's a question of war happening in different parts of the world. There are different I'll give you one more example. Ukraine participated, though they were out in the first round. Ukraine participated in the World Football, which again emphasized the part that sports is something which is beyond politics, beyond war, which is happening across the world. So, Twitter, Facebook, etc. They are the places where people just follow the live scores. They discuss, they talk about it. Even the different apps now are focused on discussing different types of sports events happening, which is very, very encouraging for the future. So some of the strategies which we can talk about, which is happening in real time scenario, is real time engagement. That is brands giving different offers, different competitions happening in the when the live events are happening for the audience to take part, where they can win prizes. There are a lot of fan-centric content which is happening, especially in cricket. A lot of experiences, especially when Indian Premier League happened, as far as cricket is concerned, in the country, in India. And a lot of campaigns which happened. For example, one of the interesting aspect, which is a fun aspect, was the Max Life Insurance, where Rohit Sharma talked about Shammaji Ka Beta, which is a very humorous kind of advertisements. In fact, a lot of content is happening, connecting audience with movie stars, sports stars, and having a fun and nostalgia kind of thing, which is helping the people to connect. So there's also helping the products to move in the market, and fans are able to connect with the brands also in a better fashion due to this. So that's happening a lot. IPL, again, coming back to that, digital media, so even television for that matter. In fact, it was interesting to note that for different matches even for Indian Premier League, even for uh, football, you can see television. A lot of people are also watching television, so there is connect with the audience in uh, that area. One more important thing is, and I think there's a lot of work to be done in this aspect. How do we measure the metrics, such as how many people are watching it, how many people are actually engaging with the brand, how many people are connecting with the brands as far as the advertisements are concerned. Uh, are the advertisements only for people to be seen, Are people going back and buying that brands after they see the advertisements? So a lot of work, I think, has to be done in terms of measuring the metrics as far as the effectiveness of any campaigns are concerned, especially during sports events. I think that's some area which really has to be addressed to, because how do we attribute a metric success rate to the advertisements which was created during the sports events, either in television or in the social media? So that is something which really has to be looked into. Um, this is what I was saying. Even connected TV, that is your normal television with a dish connection or a cable connection, whatever you call it, that also was watched during IPL. So it's not only the the OTT platforms which are watched, but even the uh, connected television, the normal television, that is television channels, are also watched during the Indian Premier League. And a lot of industries like banking, finance, services, food and beverages, household products, automobiles, they're all were able to get on top of the things, and they were significant increase in the volume of advertisements, and definitely there would be a lot of benefits which these industries would have got it. But I'm not 100% sure about the measurement of metrics, or what metrics can they have used to actually connect with the success rate. So what we are basically talking about is cricket, football, and Olympics. There is a lot of innovations happening in these areas, especially in football clubs. There are a lot of segmenting of social media channels, and in world, especially in football, they have fragmented channels for men's football, women's team, youth academy, and different fan groups are there for each of this. There's a lot of real-time content uh, which is coming out in the social media, like score updates, moments, celebrations, etc., which definitely adds to the excitement among the fans with respect to the sports events. Team heroes, definitely, that's something which is really important nowadays. You talk about Mbappe. In fact, sometime back, remember, we used to talk about a lot of football players, but you know, people like Mbappe from France, or the young team members playing in the English Premier League, or maybe people from Olympics, the swimmers. We were not able to recognize them. Now they are all heroes for us, right? And when they advertise something, when they talk about something, people listen. So fans' causes are also connected to it. As I already told about humor, a lot of advertisements are coming out with saying about humor, so as to connect with the audience. And now we know that these social media is helping the organizations to connect with them, and there's a lot of feedback which is generated in terms of how it is going, how it is helping the the brands to be built in the minds of the consumers. So basically, this study is about literacy review, and definitely there are a lot of food for thought for future research in terms of, as I already mentioned, what is the relatability? What is the success rate of social media in helping a brand to grow during a sports event? What is the metrics which can be used to measure it? What is the before that, how much is the awareness level of a sports event in a mind of a consumer? In fact, I'll come to that later. I had a small questionnaire which started off and collected very less amount of data, but what I found out is a lot of people are not aware of where, some of them are not aware of where each of the sports events is happening. And some of them, in fact, I asked a question: which are the two teams which entered into the round of 16 in football event? And in spite of the fact that it is being coming out in the in the internet, in the social media, people are not aware. There are only two teams which has come, and the awareness level of these two teams, smaller teams, that's one more interesting thing. Slovenia and Georgia, very, very small teams which are come to the next level. That's something which is of interest. So there are a lot of research which can be done on this aspect. Right, very general, very literature study. So these are the strategies which already we talked about, targeting a specific audience. I told about football being youth-centered, football being women-centered, football being centered around men. Now the International Cricket Council is trying to focus on different countries as far as cricket is concerned, to develop that sports in those areas. We are talking about creating engaging content already. That's very, very important. The content and the timing. So that's something which is very, very important. Now, this is food for thought, especially for a country like India. How do we develop content for different sports events? We are not only focused on cricket. Can we develop some content for football and for tennis so that people will watch more and brands will be helped by that? Building brand partnership and sponsorship is already there. How to develop that into that, and how do you use social media for better leveraging? That's something which is absolutely important. So when you want to target a specific audience, where do we locate? Which country, which part, right? In India, for example, there are states which are really which really love football. So can we focus a football event? Can we focus our marketing events specifically for that? Right? What is the age category? So what kind of age category is really looking into each of the sports events? Who is watching it? What kind of people, demographic factors, the interest, level of athleticism? Can we focus something on a particular place so that sports events can be increased there? Athleticism can be increased. Fitness level can be increased. That's something which you can really think about. So if you want to definitely tap into potential customers, you have to create videos focused on those areas, blogging, right? Press releases. I don't know how much that will help, but press releases is something which is very, very focused on specific target segments. And definitely Twitter is something which is happening. More work is required in that. And you need a better automation system, better mechanized system, maybe AI, to create user-specific messages to each audience, each specific person, so that they will be interested in and reading what they really want to read. So that's something which has to be focused on. So you need to think about promotional contests, which is already happening in different sports events, but how do you leverage that? How do we get new customers to focus on that? Develop brand partnerships already happening in a lot of events, but how do we make sure that how do you make sure that that event is connected to the brand? That's something which is very, very important. Then securing sponsorships, that again, a lot of things are happening, especially in cricket, but how do we leverage that into that? So how do we use different kinds of social media like Facebook, to increase awareness? And now we have definitely, all of us know, Insta is a very, very important media. How do we generate more awareness into that? And how do we look into Twitter to connect with the Gen Z audience? And maybe all this media, how do we make sure that different media is used to connect with the different kinds of age groups and different kinds of income? So there's one more area which you can look into for better research in that aspect. So finally, when we look into the Olympics, 2024 Paris Olympics is again coming out, and a lot of things are happening. But again, a lot of work has to be done in terms of awareness, especially in countries where Olympics is not a huge event, right? So according to the data shared by IOC, 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo recorded 28 billion video views. right? This is a jump of 139% increase from the previous one. So this is going to increase again in the 2024 Paris Olympics, but that's 28 billion video views is nothing compared to what exactly is the population in the world. How do we make sure that a lot of people watch these events, read about events, understand how brands can leverage that, how brands can target the audience for specifically for this particular area? How do we make sure that brands are watched and people buy those brands during or after the event? That's something. How do we actually measure the success? So many things have to be looked into, and that's something which definitely future research can be focused on. So as I said, I started with a small primary research, and what I understood is there's less of awareness of Olympics and football, especially my audience is in India, so definitely people are more into cricket, etc. So that's understood. Less number of people watching football, cricket is watched more. One interesting aspect is a lot of people are watching advertisements and they know the brand, they know what kind of advertisements they are watching. Only thing is that people changing the channels is not to that extent compared to maybe some time back. People love to see the brands, but the question is, are they finally using that to those advertisements to buy those brands? And that's something which is a $1 million question. So there's a lot of research to be done in terms of the engagement, in terms of the awareness level. How do we leverage social media to increase the awareness? And even if people are aware and if people watch, how do we people actually buy that brand? So how do we measure the metrics of the success? So a lot of areas to be looked into, but a good area to be researched upon. I'm sure some of the people will be interested, and I'm really interested to go ahead with this kind of research. So as ma'am said previously, if anybody is interested to working with me, they are welcome. Thank you for the time, and thank you AIBPM for giving me the time. Thank you.